I'm just giving a brief talk about my work. I'm in a sculpture studio at the moment. This is an example of a portion of the work that I'm working on, which is censorship and taboo. These are watercolours that that are now oil paintings actually. Well, two of them are working toward becoming full-size oil paintings. I quite like adapting Disney as a means of satire and placing those characters out of context. So those are terrorist flags, Caucasian-dominated terrorist groups, the KKK and the Baader-Meinhof group. That's a mini watercolour I started that I want to turn into an oil painting. Again, it's the taboo of sexuality. I'm currently working on a text piece, and then that's another one, because I quite like how I quite like taking historical art events and then placing it in a modern context to create a jarring irony that hopefully reveals a truth. I quite like transgressive art and transgressive fiction, and so a lot of my text pieces are transgressive. They deal with quite taboo subjects. I'm also working on l'origine du monde, my version of l'origine du monde, focusing on male genitalia as opposed to... So it's a way of kind of confronting the male gaze and addressing that issue that dominates the way women are portrayed in modern art. This is the sculpture studio. I work with, well, I don't work with, but I work alongside several of the students. Most of the desks, they come from different nationalities and different age groups as well. I think this is, I haven't met this student other than just occasionally seeing her, but she's from Colombia and she works with it's like foam pieces, and she makes sculpture from foam. She's working on a huge piece here. This is one of the, I think this is a local student. Again, a lot of the sculpture students tend to be interested in space and how the sculpture occupies that space and changes the nature of the space. This one's quite interesting. I'll show you this. This is a student. She's got this is Nancy's work. She's got an image of Vitruvian male, Da Vinci's Vitruvian male on her wall, and so she's created her version of the Vitruvian female, I think. And that's another artist's work. Crits are coming up now, so a lot of artists are kind of polishing their work up, ready for crits. Crits is just where you expose your work to the faculty and to the other students. This is Libby's work. I haven't talked to this student yet, other than to borrow sellotape, but she's creating, she's inspired by Gillian Waring, and she's creating, that's Libby there I presume, she's creating like a metal bodysuit of herself. So she's another one who's kind of working with the male gaze and disrupting the male gaze and inverting it and deconstructing it. Her work has similarities to Orlan, I think. I'd be interested to see what it's like if she does a performance piece. And then it's quite a large space. I think there's four or five students in here, and then I'm centered in here. I'm the only painter in the sculpture studio. I was kindly allowed to have the space because year 2 sculptures it's too crowded. And I'll be doing a second study where hopefully I want to set up a Tumblr account or a YouTube account where I can interview the art students. So I'll probably be creating a separate YouTube account for that, for promotional purposes really. And this is just more text work down there.